Say something.
Hello, I have popcorn.
That wasn't really in song form. That's okay. Let's see if Emma
thank you.
can pick up the slack. Go, Emma.
No. No.
People are the worst.
Wow.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Under the Kitchen Table podcast. With us today is Alan
Hello.
and Emma.
Hi.
You might be wondering why I'm so old today. I feel like I've waited 1,000,000 years for the Mandalorian Season 2!
Woo! But
Woo.
it's finally here and it happened. And it premiered today. I'm so pumped.
Good.
You guys all watched it, right?
Yeah,
Yes, of
I was
course.
in the same room as you when I watched it.
I was not in the same room, but I watched.
Thank you, Emma.
I just want to clarify.
Absolutely. Oh, well,
wanna confuse
we did, guys.
anyone.
We've waited a very, very long time for this, and now it's finally here.
Like almost a year.
Yeah, we waited a year.
It hasn't felt that long.
It's felt that long for me.
I mean, it's not like it hasn't been that long, but at the same time, it doesn't feel that long.
The Clone Wars served as a good intermediary between the last episode and this episode. Yeah.
I think it fulfilled my need for good Star Wars.
We're getting Rise of Skywalker in the middle of that, and
No, so how long ago did Rise come out? It wasn't last winter, was it?
what? Last Jedi?
No, Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
It was last year.
Yeah, 2019.
Like-
it was last year.
Yeah, December.
Yeah, it's always December.
It feels so much longer ago than that. Like I feel
Well, I
like
mean,
they-
2020. 2020 has been a year. Let me tell you.
well,
It's been a year, all right.
yeah, I guess
Like
that's true.
it's felt so long in comparison to other years.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, yeah, we all watched The Mandalorian. It was a thing that happened. We're going to give a short, non-spoilery review, and then we'll go into more of a
some initial
spoilery
thoughts.
We
review.
get into the spoilers.
Yeah, get into the juicy meat.
Ew! Why did you describe it like that,
I don't know. Anyway, so who wants to start talking about it?
Alan? You said that you had some points you wanted to bring up. What were those points?
Some are spoilery, but I'll go over the non-spoilery one.
Go ahead.
I liked the overall. This isn't a spoiler, but this episode has a very strong, like, Western feel to it. I like that. I like that kind of, like, old Western feel. I know some of the other episodes have been kind of Westerny, like the one where they go to the town and they gotta fight back the ATST Walker. That one has like a Westerny kind of feel to it, but this one like even more so. Like one of the characters, if you're listening close, you can tell he's wearing spurs because it has that distinctive like jingle sound when he's walking.
Nick, do you know what spurs are?
Did you just ask me if
Yes.
I knew what spurs were?
Yeah, yeehaw.
Yeehaw! Yo,
I'm
old-timey,
pretty
like,
well versed in what they
Terrapin
call the
Town
yeehaw.
spurs?
I'm very
Yeehaw.
well versed in the yeehaw.
Okay, good.
Anyway, what were you saying about spurs?
That if you listen closely, one of the characters are wearing them. You can tell by the jingling sound he's making when he's walking.
Well, the last time you hear that was at the end of the last episode. They were on Tatooine, the Gunslinger episode.
Mm-hmm.
So people said that may have been Boba Fett at the end of it, but that may have been the Marshal.
Yep, that may have been them. I think it was probably the Marshal
Yeah, probably.
of what we know about him.
Ooh, spooky.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Very good. What did you think about it, Emma? Thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the fact that in the room we had brownies for your birthday. Gonna plug that in there.
I missed out on brownies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you missed out on brownies, fam.
I should have. If I knew, I would have swung by and got some.
Why are
Yeah.
we bringing up my birthday?
Because it's your birthday
It's my birthday tomorrow. It's not
on
my birthday.
Halloween. On Spooky
You
Day.
instantly dated the podcast.
Yep. They don't know which Halloween it is. Well, we mentioned 2020, so I guess we did date it.
You dated me. How dare you?
I didn't say how old you were.
Did you just assume my age?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you just assume my age? How dare
You ageist.
How
Anyway,
dare you?
Anyway, continue
Like
your
what-
thoughts. What do you
What
think?
Alan said, I really liked how it was basically a western, like a space western. Yeehaw! And I was like, yes.
That's essentially what the whole of the Mandalorian is, though. It's essentially.
I think
a
that's
large
why I
space
like it, because it's a western.
But more so this episode.
Yeah. This episode was like, heck yeah, this is a western.
I guess so.
And I don't know what else to talk about because I feel like everything else I talk about is going to be spoilers.
I mean, the fact you say you like it, I'm sure that's good enough. For me, I definitely like it. Highly recommend it. You should go and watch it. If not, going on
As soon as possible.
getting Disney Plus and watching it, then
Finish podcasts first and then go watch
yeah,
it.
go. Please finish it.
I
At
mean,
least
I'm
the
not
non-spoiler part.
condoning this, but you could pirate it. Not condoning, just saying it's an option.
What?
I wasn't going to say anything, Alan. You just had to bring it up, didn't you?
Oh, I'm not saying no. Like you should never do that. Of course, never do it.
Listen,
But it's an option.
go to my illegal
I can't
site.
condone
doesn't-
it. Don't condone
it's
it.
not a
Don't
legal
condone it. Don't do it.
Go to
Yeah, it's not a legal option.
myillegalsite.com and watch The Mandalorian. There is a large watermark so that the SWAT team doesn't find me. However, go watch it.
I recommend listening to the non-spoiler section of the podcast, watching it, and then coming back for the spoilers.
We develop our fan base on the FBI listening in to try and figure out where our illegal site is.
Oh, we're gonna have a
I gotta
fan
get-
base now?
We gotta get that fan base first.
It's going to be the FBI.
Yeah, our fan base is gonna be the FBI.
Hello, FBI
they have money, though.
agents
Those are good
tuning
donors.
in to our non-spoiler review of The Mandalorian. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Heck yeah.
Anyway,
Heck yeah.
I believe now is the cutoff point for non-spoiler, and now you guys can just gush. Go.
Thank goodness.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You
Emma,
think
you
we'll
go
get
first.
A view fan base
what'd you get?
from me screaming.
Yes.
That and the existential dread.
Just us screaming.
What'd you think, Emma? Spoilers. What'd you like? What'd you not like?
The cameo at the end. I knew it.
Or,
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
we're going right to that then?
Can we
Okay,
keep this
yeah,
in
I like
order,
that.
please?
Heck yeah.
You're skipping right to the end when we saw Tamura Morrison, Boba Fett. Freaking heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh,
He looked like he went through the Snarlack pit.
did you say the Snarlack?
Maybe I did. Maybe I did, Nick.
I thought it was really cool. I think, though... Okay, maybe I'm giving my spoiler review a little too soon. But even though I legitimately did love this episode, I feel like this was just a filler episode from Season 1. Where they had, like, Mandalorian and Baby go on side mission for an entire episode with big reveal at either beginning, middle, or end.
Yeah, I have that feeling too. But I mean, it was
The
still a really
Witcher
good
made
episode.
up for it.
The what?
I mean, the only thing I didn't like about the episode, it didn't really like progress the story very much as I would like
Yeah.
a first episode to do. But that's the worst thing I can say about it, though.
Yeah, well, it's by comparison, you had, like, the last episode we saw was, oh crap, frickin' Imperial Remnant, Gideon with the Darksaber, Mandalorians are apparently all dead, Mandalorian has his jetpack, and they need to go and find either space wizards or Mandalorians. And it's like, oh yeah, we're going to be picking up right from there. And we kind of do, but it only goes to like, okay, it then devolves to, oh, you are wearing Mandalorian armor, but you are no Mandalorian. Let's kill a parody
A dragon.
of Tremors.
It's a crate dragon.
Yeah,
thought
it
it
was a
was-
crate dragon. That was cool.
I thought it was a parody of Jaws. You said it was a parody of Jaws.
I think it's a mix of both. It had like the worm from Tremors, but it also had like the cues from Jaws. I will say a lot of this episode it did feel like the Gunslinger in that there was so much like eye candy in regards to just how much like stuff that they pulled out of the Lucasfilm vault. Like all the little references and stuff like that. There was so much to look at in this episode. It was so cool.
I like the eye candy though.
What?
I liked the eye candy.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like even like the lore stuff that they had, like the crate dragon. That was really cool. The Tusken, seeing more of the Tusken Raider culture. That was really cool.
I like seeing
was gonna
Tusken
say-
Raider culture.
the Tusken Raiders, I was like, I've never appreciated the Tusken Raiders more than I have right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think they kind of like this being a Western. I think there's like the townspeople. I think they fill a good role as like the native people or whatever. And I think that has a good like comparison to make anyway. They're kind of like the Native Americans, but like for Tatooine. Like they're harsh people, but they have to be.
Didn't someone say in the original trilogy where it's like no, wait, it wasn't the Mandalorian where he was like, to us, like, we're the intruders, and the Tusken Raiders are the people that have always been there.
Yep. They were the intruders.
So I liked seeing more of the, because in the movies anyway, you don't really get to see a lot of the Tusken.
Yeah.
But,
you do. They're always the bad guy.
Well, you only see.
Yeah. Well, it reminded me of KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. You guys play that game? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, in KOTOR, you get a lot more of the Tusken Raiders like culture too, because you actually go into one of their camps and you can talk to the leaders, and you actually fight a crate dragon in KOTOR.
Yeah, it looked a lot different from this though.
It did, yeah. But then again, KOTOR was like the early '90s.
Oof.
The first game, anyway.
The one in this episode was a lot bigger too.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger than the one in KOTOR.
It was a lot more like a worm.
Yeah, it was very wormy because I remember like crate dragons looked more like a lizardy in some of the lore books I've read.
Big dragon.
But I guess they went with a different. Yeah, but I guess they just went with a different design.
The crate dragon. Can we talk about that and the part with the banta?
Oh yeah.
And the banta just sitting there.
The 7 different sacrifices that they tried to make, and the fact they just have
and
like
the dude starts running away, but then he gets eaten, and the banta is just like sitting there like, oh, okay.
Just sitting there chilling.
Can we just talk about how many people trip in this episode?
So many people trip.
Yeah, it is hard to run on sand though.
It would also be harder to run if you were completely covered in clothing.
But still, it's like every time you see a group of 3 people running away from the crate dragon, it's like, well, at least one of those guys is going to trip and get eaten. And then right on cue, one of them trips and gets eaten. It's like, oh, well, there he goes. I was
Jon Favreau's like, okay, we need to have as many people trip as possible to make this seem like this is a big deal.
This worm.
Everyone just took their clumsy pills today.
Yeah.
It's also how many people just died in general during that last fight. It's like,
it seems like only sane people died.
How is this a victory? With how many people just ended up tripping and dying or got hit by acid.
Oh man, the acid.
Well, cool, I saw the acid. I was just like, "What is that?" And I thought it was just like spit or something.
Yeah.
But then I saw it like steaming, and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, it was more like bile.
Yeah.
The gastrointestinal stuff.
Yeah, probably was.
Like stomach acid, because stomach acid is a very, very caustic acid. It's like one of the strongest acids out there.
It was such a strong acid that once it hit the ground in the next shot, you don't see it anymore.
I know, right? I saw a couple of those.
I saw like the residue.
No, I saw a lot of clips like that too. Like there'd be a when the Tusken Raiders were awakening the crate dragon for the first time. He's like crouching. He has his gun on the ground, pretty much. But like in the very next shot, it's straight up again. So I mean, I saw a couple of those shots like those though.
Yeah, I mean that didn't really bother me all that much. It was just like those little things.
I just remember when we watched it, you were like, "This is the most expensive shot in the whole season."
No, that's what Sarah said. Sarah's like, "That's the most expensive shot." But then the last explosion happened. I'm like, "Nope, that was the most expensive shot."
I like how the Tusken Raiders got the pearl from the crate dragon's stomach.
Wait, what was that? I was wondering what that was.
All crate dragons have a pearl in their stomach, right? And that's why they're so sought after, or they're so valuable. But they're extremely hard to kill. But that pearl is extremely valuable.
Oh, can we talk about how
it's worth a lot of money?
The high-pitched adolescent Tusken Raider was the one that found it, and he just screamed. He was like, "Ah!"
High-pitched Tusken Raider at the end, like,
"Ah!" Cut off. We didn't hear you.
I said the high-pitched Tusken Raider going like, "Ah!" It cut off again.
Well, they can hear. You're recording it, so they can hear it on your side.
Oh, that's true.
We can't hear it because the octopus doesn't want us to hear it.
That's true.
He wants to protect our ears.
Yeah.
just high pitched Tusken Raider that doesn't sound like.
Hasn't gone through puberty. He's like.
It was pretty funny.
But yeah, the episode's really good though. I really liked it. I'm excited for the one on next Friday.
Yeah, I'm
Friday.
Going back to like the little lore bits that you see though, I love looking at how they like are continuing to connect Clone Wars with the Mandalorian, just like the little stuff that
Oh,
put in there. Like, I love seeing the Ack dogs again, though I'm pretty sure we see them in episode 2. I could be wrong, but like the dogs the Tusken Raiders have, you see those in Clone Wars pretty prominently. Like even in the season 1, they had like the Loth cat and stuff like that, or whatever the family species of cat that is.
I just remember being
like
doggo.
Then Tamora Morrison.
I like how they talk in sign language too. I think that's cool.
They established that in the previous season.
I know, I'm just saying I like it.
Though what's new is the Mandalorian speaking in their shouting
Yeah,
tongue.
speaking in their tongue.
Yeah, that's different.
I like that. I like that too.
I just wonder why he didn't
I guess
do that
he
before.
learned it. I guess he learned it from then until now.
Yeah, I don't know. That was kind of weird. Because it seems really out of nowhere.
Yeah, but
Because he wasn't doing that before.
I mean, what else are they gonna do on those long ship rides? Listen to audio tapes of languages.
Maybe that's what he does while they're in hyperspace. He just puts in like Rosetta Stone and
The Tusken Raiders.
of Star Wars.
Star Wars Rosetta Stone and
I mean, there's like over 6 million forms at least. We know that from C-3PO. So that's very lucrative market, I think.
Exactly.
how
You can make a lot of money like starting up a Rosetta Stone for Star Wars in real life.
The
And then just
Duplo bird.
developing the languages.
You haven't learned your Tusken Raider today.
No, that's Duolingo.
Duolingo.
Yeah, if you want to see your
You know what
family
that
again, you'd
means?
learn Spanish.
You haven't learned your Tusken Raider today. Baby Yoda senses danger.
There are intruders. He said owl. Honestly though,
Owls are
I
still
have
birds.
Duolingo. And I have like a 300 and something day streak because I'm terrified of like ending my streak.
Dang.
I feel like something bad's gonna happen.
That's some dedication.
The owl will hunt you down.
The ads are working on you.
What language are you
Also
studying in
learning.
Duolingo?
I'm learning Esperanto, and then I started recently learning Finnish.
The heck is Esperanto?
It's a man-made constructed language that was meant to be like a universal thing that people could speak if they didn't understand each other's languages. And it's actually pretty easy to learn because it's designed to be like universal. So it takes basic forms of like different languages and mashes it all into one. It's actually pretty easy to
But
learn.
it never really caught on though.
I mean, it's recognized as a national language today.
Yeah, but I mean, how
Considered-
many people do you run into that speak Esperanto though?
Oh, I mean, how many people have you asked speak it?
Touche.
Like, if you ever like walk up to someone, they say they're bilingual. You never like ask what languages they speak. They could say Esperanto. You never know. It'll count.
It's true.
I mean, if
Back to
something like
Mandalorian though.
That's the Mandalorian.
That is this episode.
Wait a minute. Is the
That is this
Mandalorian and
episode's
the
topic.
Tusken Raiders speaking Esperanto?
yes,
That's how.
it's just this weird hybrid form of Esperanto.
Can you say something for us in Esperanto?
What would you want me to say?
Just say
Blanking
anything.
on
Say a
everything.
sentence.
Just say like there is a dog.
There is the baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. If you want me to say there's the baby, it's Estas la bebo.
Estás la bebo.
Very nice.
Bebo. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
Dog is
for-
hundo.
Thank you for enlightening us.
Yes.
In the
I
middle.
blanked.
What else about the episode? What else about the episode did you guys like?
The
I liked the
doggos.
part where the Mandalorian was in his vehicle and he was learning Esperanto on the way to Tatooine, so that he
Didn't
could
you
talk to
say
the
that
Tusken Raiders.
Anakin's speed pod racer was in that episode?
Yes. So, Alan, did you see Anakin's pod racer turbine?
Oh, I did not. Where was that at?
That was the speeder bike that the marshal was driving.
Oh, I know I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, it was. That one was one of Anakin's pod racer turbines. I swear, this entire episode, they were literally just grabbing anything they could find in like the prop archive at ILM.
It makes you think though. I wonder where he got that from.
It makes me wonder where he got a lot of different stuff for that episode. For some reason, I thought the blaster that he had looked like a resistance blaster. Maybe I'm the only one who thought that. Like the
The Marshall had?
Yeah.
No, the blaster reminded me a lot of the ones that Boba Fett. No, sorry, Jango Fett uses.
What?
He has like a little pistol. Not like in I mean in the flashback when he first gets the armor.
Oh, okay. I was talking about his rifle.
Oh no, I was talking about the little pistol he had during the flashback when he goes to reclaim the town.
I'm not skilled enough in Star Wars lore, as you can tell, for me to be able to like tell the difference.
So it looked like a Westar, the pistol. I didn't notice it.
It sounded like it too.
It'd be a play on words because it's a Western.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, no, that the kind of blaster Django has is a Westar, which is Mandalorian make. Though what's funny, okay, so here's something interesting, is why was the Mandalorian so uptight about the dude with the Mandalorian armor?
Well, I mean,
Well, it
he's
says in
not
his code.
Mandalorian.
Neither
Yes, in
is
his code
he,
that if you
though.
find Mandalorian armor is being worn by a non-Mandalorian, it says it's his duty to get the armor back.
Except he isn't a Mandalorian either. They're going under different rules. So the rules right now is that because before they had during like the Clone Wars era, Mandalorians were a lot more nationalistic. It was a lot of you are born into Mandalorian society. At this point, because the Mandalorian society is just completely gone, they're living by a creed now. I mean, the Marshal's not living by the creed, but it's like,
I mean, if it was a creed, then I feel like Mandalorians would still follow it.
well, no, yeah, they're still following this creed, but it's like you don't have to be Mandalorian by blood. It wasn't like he tried to recruit him to be a Mandalorian.
I mean, yeah, but I think the thing about it though is that the Mandalorian, he was raised into that culture.
Yes.
The guy, the Marshal, wasn't like he didn't earn any of that.
He's
armor.
also using the armor as like essentially like protection for the town.
I actually thought by the end of the episode that the Mandalorian was going to let him keep the armor.
That's what I thought too.
But no, he just took it.
But
That makes me wonder
But
what's...
I'm guessing he took it. I'm guessing he took it because, you saw the guy who played Jango Fett or the clones. You saw him at the end. So I'm guessing maybe they're gonna get together and he's gonna get the Boba Fett armor.
Mando didn't see him.
No, I'm saying we see him as the audience.
No, yeah, I mean, he's going to come back into it. But, okay, so the way
Yeah,
that
exactly.
they're playing
I'm
it up...
So I'm saying when he comes back, he will receive the Boba Fett armor.
Yeah. I'm just saying the way that they're possibly setting Boba Fett up right now is he's probably going to be a bad guy in it.
I hope not.
I would like to see what Legends did with him and turned it more into an anti-hero, but I don't think that's going to happen because of what they actually, that might be why they established it in this episode of like, you weren't born into this culture, so you don't get the armor. I was kind of hoping that they do almost like a deputization, almost because of like there's no other Mandalorians left. Is like, we're going to establish a new Mandalorian clan that you don't necessarily have to be born into, but that might not be the case. Mm-hmm. Which
no, I think he took the armor so that the Boba Fett can have his armor later on series.
Well, no, yeah, but the Mandalorian doesn't know that yet.
I know, but I'm saying this. But I think he's just more like, I gotta have that armor.
Well, no, yeah. Like, the point is he's retrieving the armor. Except here's the thing, is that armor is not Beskar armor.
It's true.
It's Durasteel. It's supposed to be a knockoff. And I'm wondering, I don't think either of them realize that. Unless they're completely ignoring that from what they established in the Clone Wars. Because apparently...
They're not ignoring it. Well, because didn't you see in the flashback, it deflected that blaster bolt.
So does Durasteel.
Oh, so does Durasteel? I wasn't sure if Durasteel could do that too.
It's not as strong as Beskar. Durasteel's what's used on, like, the big doors.
Like buildings and stuff.
Yeah. It's still a good armor, but so what George Lucas established was that Jango Fett was a fake Mandalorian. He was a person masquerading as a Mandalorian. He did not have, like, he wasn't honorable, and he did not follow Mandalorian culture at all. And it's assumed that his son is the same way. So
maybe he was born into Mandalorian culture, but then left it.
We don't know.
So he's not. So he's maybe nationality wise he's Mandalorian, but like code wise he's not. Maybe.
Honestly,
guess we might find out.
Yeah, it's too early to tell. So
that was a lot of stuff that I didn't really know about.
So here's something I wanted to bring up because I think we've pretty much covered the episode, right? We all liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Talked about the interesting bits of it. One more detail I noticed. I want to know if you noticed, Alan, was the fact that they used a lot of the townspeople had rebel scarif gear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like their
the hats.
Yeah.
I noticed the hats.
Yeah, love their little hats.
Then another thing I liked real fast. The return of that one lady at the spaceport.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The one lady. I forget her name.
I liked her.
She didn't really do anything this episode.
Yeah, but she made funny jokes.
Yes, she was there. That's all I need.
That's all I need. She just fawned over Baby Yoda. That was fun.
The Mandalorian wasn't going to leave it with her again because of what happened last time he left it with her.
Mm-hmm. But it also showed that he's okay with droids now.
Yeah, that's true.
And then she was like,
a little bit of character development.
But she was also like, well, I guess he likes droids now.
Oh
Don't
my
mess
god.
this up.
Alan, R5.
R5, yes.
That droid from episode 4 came back, and the lady bought it. That crappy astromech that blew up in episode 4. I love it. But
and she kept like, she was very harsh with it too. That was funny.
Hunk of junk. So something I actually wanted to bring up when looking to the future is that, do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about maybe it was last week when we were talking about the Mandalorian. We talked about the chapter names. Do you remember that for the season?
Yes.
When we talked about the chapter names. So here's the thing, is the names they gave us are different from the names that they released. So the name for this episode was The Marshal, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they released that the chapter name for this one months ago was The Search.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember that you saying that.
So
They should have called it The Tremor.
That would have been a good episode title.
Yeah, but
might have been a little on the nose though.
That would have been way too on the nose. But
they should have called it The Western.
Yeah, it's So this episode was The Search. Would you say that name still matches what happened in this episode?
Really?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, maybe for like the first 5 minutes of the episode, we were searching for the Mandalorian, but after that, no.
Yeah, because then it went to the Marshal. Chapter 2 was estimated at being called The Confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen next episode? Because the name is definitely going to be different. But I'm wondering, based on what happened in this episode, what you guys think is going to happen next week.
What I would like is either one of two things. I would like either this is when he like gets introduced or has some kind of confrontation with Boba Fett. I'd like that since they had teased them at the end of this episode.
Do you think?
See, that's what I don't think they would though. I'm just saying that's what I would like to see.
I would like
either that.
Yeah. I really hope they don't. They didn't like lay the foundation for Boba Fett in the first episode, so that he just comes in at the very end. I want him to come
exactly.
Sooner.
I want him to be more of like a character this season.
Yeah.
Instead of just a cameo, I would love for him to be like an actual character.
Yeah, like that was what you said earlier. So like, what the question you asked was like, if he was going to be a good guy or a bad guy or not. What do you think is going to happen?
What I hope happens and what I think is going to happen are two different things. Let me say that. What I wanted to initially happen was, because Boba Fett is not officially Mandalorian and his father was like a known masquerader of Mandalorian armor and just used it as like intimidation and getting that Mando clout while not being Mandalorian, is that Boba Fett does better than that and gets like quote unquote adopted into Mandalorian culture and joins Clan Mudhorn. I would love that.
Becomes like an honorary member.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is Boba Fett is going to become a continue going with as a villain character off of what he was in, say, episode 4, 5, and 6. He's just still going to be a villain. And he's going to try to steal the armor, or he is going to steal the armor. And he's going to try and reclaim his fame as a bounty hunter by possibly stealing Baby Yoda and delivering him to Moff.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen, though.
Which, I don't know. I want them to give him more of like a complex character than just continue being bad guy. But I don't think they're going to go that route, unfortunately.
I would like him to be a more anti-hero. Or at least maybe, if not completely on the Mandalorian side, at least like supportive, I guess. Like he'll come in and help if it's convenient to him or something like that.
Yeah. What made Boba Fett honorable in Legends was the fact that he did live up to a Mandalorian code. So the fact
he had a very strict code.
He did have a very strict code, and I think they completely cut that from the new canon. So I'm hoping that because Favreau and Filoni have done great jobs of intermixing canon and Legends, I'm hoping they can they make a good compromise on this. But again, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. I would also like to know, how did he survive the Sarlacc pit?
Probably the same way the Mandalorian survived the Krayt Dragon stomach.
We'll see.
I guess.
I think that's a different stomach, though.
The only difference is that Krayt Dragon probably digests its prey a lot faster, and Sarlacc pit takes 1,000 years to digest its prey.
So is Boba Fett just sitting in there for a good few days?
We don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll give him like the
Jonah
quick background, like they gave the Marshal. 5 minutes to get his whole life.
Just sitting in there.
Get his life story. Yeah. Next episode's the confrontation, supposedly. Chapter 3 is called The Bounty. That's also interesting. But again, this isn't reliable, apparently. So
yeah, they're subject to change.
Yeah.
And the next episodes are going to be shorter than this one. They're going to be more 45 minutes.
How many episodes are there? Were there 8 like last season?
Yep, 8 like last season. So there will be a total of...
Yeah, there's going to be 8 episodes this season.
Oh boy. Are we gonna every week talk about the Mandalorian, or like we still gonna...
So here's moving forward. For this episode, we're focusing it completely on Mandalorian because it's premiering. Going forward, we might talk about the episode for like a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Maybe like some highlights.
Yeah, give some highlights. But other than that, we're going to go business as usual after that.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm looking on IMDb right now, and it's... Okay, wow. So, first episode, they call it Chapter 9, The Marshal. However, Episode 2 does not have a name yet.
That's interesting.
So, it's completely blank on IMDb what the names of the episodes are.
Oh, if there's a if it is still, after the theme of the confrontation, I would, if not Boba Fett, I would like him to confront or be confronted by...
I lost you. No spoilers from the octopus.
Would you like to repeat yourself, Alan?
I guess
I think
the octopus didn't want him to give his theory on what's going to happen, so he's like, nope, you have him under the table.
Disney has a gun pointed at the back of the head of the octopus, who now has a gun at the back of the head of Alan.
Isn't this
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I'd like them to be confronted by or confront either Boba Fett or Ahsoka.
Oh.
Is she gonna be in the Mandalorian?
She's rumored to be.
She's rumored for one episode.
Okay.
Rumored.
I would like her to be in more than one episode.
I don't think they're gonna...
My roommate and I were talking about it the other day, and my roommate thought that she died.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Not that we know of yet.
I didn't think she died either, but I was like, isn't she going to be the Mandalorian? I didn't think she was dead.
As far as we know... Okay, so here's what we know about Ahsoka at this point, is she survives until Rebels. In Rebels, she almost dies, but is pulled through the world between worlds and is deposited back on Malachor, where she stays until the rebellion beats the Empire at Endor, where then she comes out from Malachor, and then she and Sabine are going on a quest to find Ezra Bridger.
Cool.
They're right now on some adventure to find long-lost Jedi Ezra.
Do you think Ezra will make an appearance?
I'm kind of hoping so, honestly.
Maybe when he drops the child off to the Jedi, they're the Jedi that he drops them off to.
Yeah,
and then Mando's just like, I don't know who you people are, but I guess you're the space wizards.
Now that they screwed up Luke and his academy, and Rey's not making an academy, they might as well have a Jedi academy with Ahsoka and Ezra. I'd actually like
an underground Jedi academy. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And actually, that would give us a good, leeway into future Jedi adventures post Episode 9. Mm-hmm. If Episode 9 sticks around.
Post Episode 9, I can see, hey, after all this is when the Jedi who have been underground this whole time, training up, finally, come out.
Yeah. That'd
be cool.
It would be cool. I'd be excited for that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say on it? We're good.
Do you think Sabine will make an appearance? Because she is Mandalorian.
Yes, I hope she does make an appearance. Though here's the thing: is she was gone by the point of the collapse of Mandalore. She was already on the adventure before the Empire destroyed Mandalore. So she takes her helmet off, and I think there's gonna be conflict between her and the Mandalorian.
It'd be interesting though.
Yeah. No, it is interesting. I'm just wondering what kind of conflict that's going to bring up. I hope it does bring up good conflict, though.
Like the old laws versus the new laws.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm wondering if she knows what happened to Mandalore and her like family and stuff like that. Actually, I'm curious what happens to like Clan Ren and all of those, because the only thing we get is the Day of Tears or whatever, where the Imperials apparently just gunned down a bunch of Mandalorians in a field. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm assuming we're gonna get more answers on that this season.
I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. I honestly am. But anyway, that's...
While I was watching it, and I'm like, I'm glad that we have at least this for good Star Wars.
Yeah, this is definitely... It felt like Star Wars.
It felt like, yeah, that's the thing. It felt like Star Wars. That's all I want. That's all I want. To have a show that feels like Star Wars.
It feels like Star Wars. That's enough.
Doesn't have to have all these layers of discourse. I just want Star Wars.
Exactly. I don't need no Rey. I don't need all this big stuff.
I don't need all these arguments about what the Force is and what it is not. I just want Star Wars.
You know what? That's the truest thing that could ever come out of this podcast episode. Just make
I do think Star Wars works very well in that sort of like episodic structure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I think you get more acclimated to the world in that. And that's what makes Star Wars so great. It's the lore and the world that George Lucas built.
That's why I was mad when Disney declared a bunch of stuff not canon. Because it's like, you spent all this time building up this lore and all these worlds, and then you just say that it's not true. But it's like, that's the whole point of Star Wars. It's like the lore. It's like the central part of what makes Star Wars Star Wars.
Well, that's why everyone is currently ticked off at Warhammer right now. Apparently, very recently, they did something where essentially they had like an end times event. So one of their like worlds that they've been building since like the 1980s is just gone now, and they've replaced it with a new fantasy era, essentially getting rid of like 50 years of just lore being built.
Is that like a video game or something, or is it a book series?
It's like a Star Wars franchise. It's a franchise.
Oh, okay. Dang. I'd be mad if I was working on that since like the 80s, I would be mad if someone just was like, yeah, let's forget it.
Well, they didn't. Okay,
it
wasn't
now.
Like that. They made it fit in with the story of like, okay, evil wins, the world is destroyed, but a good god transported all the good people to a different planet. Yay.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, but now it's like it's like lots of lore is just non-existent now. Fun stuff on that.
That's lame.
Well, that's all I had for this episode. Do you guys have any other thoughts before we wrap up?
It's about what I had as well.
Sorry.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tell your friends and family. Go enjoy election season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's the greatest season ever. Please go out and
might as well date us more, Nick.
Listen, we're premiering this on the day The Mandalorian drops. I think we're plenty dated. It doesn't matter at this point.
You're on thin ice, Nick.
I'm on thin ice? Oh no, that's not good.
Don't fall through.
Oh, there he goes. Whisper.
All right, goodbye, guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.